This feels, I don't know, almost elitist. You got your own little drum chair.
It is. This is like my little throne.
I like this. Very fancy.
Live, up close, and unplugged. National award-winning Studio East, where rock bands get intimate and strip it down acoustically. Studio East, powered by the U.S. Army. They're strong, and then there's Army Strong. Learn more about the U.S. Army at GoArmy.com. Now, let's go live. Studio East.
Hello, I am Stino, and let's welcome Brent Smith and Zach Myers from Shinedown.
What's happening? What's going down?
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are ya?
We're great. We're going to hang out with you.
So good.
All the lovely people here today. Thank you guys for coming and saying what's up to us today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I speak for everybody here. We're thanking you for coming out to hang out with us today. So thank you so much for taking time out.
Well, you're welcome. That's what we meant to say, actually, first time.
All right, later.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, so let's talk about your most recent album, Attention. Obviously, it gets my attention, the album artwork, very bright and bold. People have gotten a chance to listen to it, obviously, through its entirety now, since it's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the reception has gone? Like, how do you think people are receiving this album?
Mr. Myers?
I think it's been great. It's weird. When you release a record, I posted this, I think, when this record came out on the gram, as the kids call it. But it's such a weird thing to release a record that means as much to you, because for so long it's only yours. And you and your bandmates and managers and people, they're the only people who have it, and it feels very special to you. So you get a little worried, like the dog's going to go outside for the first time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's like a very weird thing. Or your kid's going to school for the first time. You know, so it's once the world has it, you protect it and you take every criticism of it very deeply. And there was virtually none on this record. Like everyone seemed to love it, and that's kind of a tribute to what we did when we made the record, which was we take every record very seriously, but this record was made completely in-house with just the four of us. And it was something that when we made it, when you make a record, we especially write songs to make great songs. It's kind of no filler thing. So if we think it's a song's like, oh, let's write 4 singles and then figure out the rest of the record. No, it's let's write 13 number one songs and hopefully we can get 9 of them number one on a record.
Yeah.
And for us, when we made this record, is always know you have something good, but this one felt really special and a little different, I think. So, and I think the fans reacted the same way, especially the tour that we just got off of was the same way. So for me, I think the expectations were above what I was expecting, because you never know what people are going to say. You know, you're only as good as your last trick, as we say, and I thought that we exceeded that on this record.
Awesome. What challenges did you guys face writing this album and, in the process of all of it?
You don't face challenge musically writing things. You face challenges lyrically writing things. So I don't know. What challenges did you face? I mean, I know what challenges he faced.
I got to be pretty bold about it. Of all the albums that we've done, it's the only record I wouldn't change one word. And
it's also the first record you completely wrote sober.
I did write it sober. And
that's pretty awesome.
Now, and the thing about that is sometimes, people get a little, like when you hear that word sober or sobriety, it's almost like somebody gives you a Charlie horse real quick, especially in society now. I'm not talking about just the United States, just globally with all of the awarenesses in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're completely under a microscope if you choose to be under a microscope. Because at the end of the day, the way I looked at this album was, once we wrote the song Get Up, we had more of an idea that it wasn't going to be a collection of songs that we've written over a certain amount of time. A lot of what that song did was it allowed us to say, okay, if we're going to be this honest and this bold, then we have to go all in. And that song kind of was the sounding board, because after Get Up is when Devil came, and then that's when Black Soul came, and then that's when Kill Your Conscience, Pyro, Dark Side, Special, brilliant. It all kind of came after that. And what we had done is we had made a decision to write a record about, the four of us. Now, granted, you're going to find yourself in the album, we would like to believe, from a public standpoint, because the entire album is a story. It all takes place inside of a room. And the goal for all four of us was, when you listen to a record, you're always going to have like songs that you love more than, others. You know what I mean? We always, like Zach says, we try to never have anything that sounds phoned in, because it can happen.
Of course.
It turns into what we call band in a can, and that's when you get like the singles that you kind of already know with your label and your management, like, okay, we know it's going to be these three. And then the rest you kind of can relax on. We didn't relax on attention at all, because we had to push a boundary with ourselves. But, the whole album is about not being afraid to fail. It's embracing those things in your life. That's just one side of it, but you're not going to be defined by your failures in life. You're going to be defined by the fact that you refuse to give up. Sometimes that brick that is in your pocket right now can be a great tool, if you need information and what have you, if you want to connect with people and stuff like that.
Break into somewhere.
Break into something. But the reality is that, I find that people nowadays, too, with that, what we didn't want to happen was attention is a reflection of being a human being and not losing your empathy for each other. And also not losing the connection of just being able to talk to each other face to face and not feeling embarrassed because some days, just quite frankly, are harder than others, okay? That doesn't mean you need to rest on that, but, this whole album is about embracing being yourself.
I absolutely love it. The album just kills it, you guys. And, you were talking about the song Get Up. That is that like a suicide or maybe depression kind of awareness song? That's how I feel.
No, I mean, it wasn't written for the awareness of it. It was written for Eric, our bass player, who produced the album and went through it, and it's something that we've watched him go through every day. And I think our ignorance, well, especially my ignorance to it forever was, I would see him be down upon himself and just go, dude, we're selling out arenas and we're selling millions of records and we're doing all these things. Just feel better. It's that easy, right?
It's not that easy.
It's not
though.
that easy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got diagnosed with anxiety last year, and I used to make fun of people who had that. So that was my penance, I think, for that. But it's something that I don't understand. I'll never get. And by the way, I didn't make fun of people with anxiety. I was just like, well, just stop feeling anxious about things. And then I got it, and I was like, well, that's impossible.
It's not an easy fix.
No, it's terrifying. And with Eric, going through that, it was like you really got a sense of that it's this lead vest or it's this room filling up with water, and you never know if you're going to be able to get out. And if you do something that's an accomplishment, it's like an air bubble, or it's like you just taking one piece of lead out of this vest. And so I remember when they played it for me, because Eric and Brent wrote the song, and I remember when I heard it, it was like, of course this is who this is about. But it's the same thing with our songs. It's something that we say. It's like, yeah, it is about Eric, and it is about struggling. It is about not giving up. It is a song about falling down 10 times and getting up 11. But at the same time, the slide of that is that it's about whatever everyone out here wants it to be about, and you want it to be about, because we think that music should be whatever you make it. That's why we don't tell. We've done one tour where we told stories about the songs, but at the same time, we don't really tell people exactly what the songs are about, because I don't want to diminish what someone else, what they're using it for. They could be using it for, whatever, a loss of someone else, their own depression, their own anxiety, their own addictions of so on and so forth. But we never want to delve too far into what a song's about, because you should be able to pin whatever you want on that song. And that's what music is to me, is that there's some of my favorite songs in the world that I probably don't want to know what they're about, because it would probably ruin this thing that helped me get through my own life.
I totally understand that. I've heard songs before where I've thought they were, singing about this certain thing that maybe happened to them, and then to find out the real story, and it's just like, oh.
When I found out Lucy in the Sky wasn't about a girl named Lucy, I was very upset. By the way, the power on this tuner keeps going out. So whoever is in control of the power over there, or wherever this power is coming from.
We have all these bells and whistles. Sorry, we plugged in too many things.
It's all right.
I'm making the power go out.
We need lots of
Lights are
going to
start flickering.
No,
in a
it's
minute.
all right.
It was
We'll
just a
figure it
guitar and two dudes, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
shut down Wisconsin.
Slimer's gonna fly.
Like everything is gone.
That'd be great.
Blame it on the Shinedown.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing for most people to do.
Yeah.
So is there a transition that takes place coming out of touring acoustically with you two, you know? And what's it like going from performing and singing over an acoustic and then kicking into high gear and going on stage, you know, for Shinedown?
It's 1,000% fun, and you never know what it's going to be like at times, and that's the beauty of the journey, really, in all honesty. A lot of the songs that we do, if we've written them, and they're our catalog, to be totally transparent with you and very upfront with all of you, even the heaviest material starts on an acoustic a lot of times, sometimes even on a piano. Because for me, I look at things from a different standpoint. There's no set formula in the way that we do it. It can be a riff, it can be a hook, it can be, you know, a statement or a lyric of some sort. But one of the reasons why we can take the heaviest stuff and some of the meatier tempos and the heavier tempos, and why they do transition into acoustics, because a lot of times they were written on an acoustic. You know, you put all the bells and whistles on things, and that becomes like the fun part when you're in the studio. But at the end of the day, you know, it goes back to Quincy Jones and his whole theory, which is when you play me something. This is Quincy Jones saying this, but he's like, when an artist would play me something, it would usually start off and be very, very intense or hard, difficult, you know. And then he would look at them and go, that's cool. Can you play it a little bit simpler? And then so you take a couple of chords out, this and that and the other, kind of simplify the rhythm, what have you. He would be, cool. Can you do it even simpler? And then you get them to, they really have to start thinking, like, how do I, because it's not that they're trying to compensate for something, they're trying to impress him. You know what I mean? And the way he looked at it was 3, 4, 5 times asking him, can you not dumb it down, just make it more simple? And one of the very last things he would say is he would go, okay, cool. Can you play it for me with one finger, like on a piano or something? You know what I mean? So it turns into he's looking for a hook, and he's looking for, you know, how broad can it be? So when we have all the fire and the lasers and, you know, the video elements, and we're known for putting on big shows. You know, the beautiful thing about it is that me and him can strip it down to where a lot of those songs were born, and it's just as powerful. It's just in a different atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away the choir at the beginning of Can't Always Get What You Want, and you break it down to Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, it's still a great song. You know what I mean? It's like,
of course.
You add all those things in later, but if you start off with a great song, whether it be piano and vocal, guitar and vocal, you can add whatever you want to it. And at that point, it's almost hard to mess it up if you have a great song, even though we've done it.
Yes.
I believe. But
many times.
you know what I mean? But a good song is a good song, like you said. If you can play it with one finger, it's still a great song.
And you guys have a ton of great songs. Speaking of stripping things down, you guys want to play some music for us?
100%.
We're dying to hear you.
We don't know what. We were just discussing. Yeah, let's try that for the first time.
So I tell you what, we thought we were just working up something back there. It's kind of interesting that we were talking about what we were just talking about. We've never done this song in front of an audience acoustically before, so this will be interesting.
We've never done this song not in front of an audience acoustically.
Very much true.
Other than 10 minutes ago
back
there. All right, let's see how this goes.
Let's make sure that it's on.
Oh, it's good.
There she is.
And it's funny that my joke, I always say tune down a drop D to get closer to the devil.
It's very true.
Now we're going to play it. All right.
Yeah. Pick up the phone. You said it yourself, you're scared of being alone. You said it yourself that you can crack the code, but the sound that you hear automatically keeps you exposed on your own. I hope you get it, steady, smashing through the levee, the drama, the drama, don't play the prima donna, my God. You said it yourself that you would never stop until you felt the needle drop. And now you pack your bags, the party's such a drag, and everyone can tell that you're poisoning the well. But there are no mistakes except what you create. You need to know your place, 'cause it's about to get heavy. It's about to be on. Yeah, I'm banging, slinging napalm. So nobody move, 'cause I was sent to warn you. The devil's in the next room. The silence, the blinding ultraviolet, knocking at your door, pacing back and forth. What now?
What now?
The whispers and the screams, the stereotypical profiling ritual, vicious and obscene. So now you pack your bags, the body's such a drag, and everyone can tell that you're poisoning the well. But there are no mistakes except what you create. You need to know your place, 'cause it's about to get heavy. It's about to be on. Yeah, I'm banging, slinging napalm. So nobody move, 'cause I was sent to warn you. The devil's in the next room. It's about to get heavy. It's about to be on. Yeah, I'm banging, slinging napalm. So nobody move, 'cause I was sent to warn you. The devil's in the next room. Yeah, the devil's in the next room. Yeah, the devil's in the next room. So nobody move, 'cause I was sent to warn you. The devil's right beside you. Yeah, the devil's right beside you. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Example.
There you go.
Heavy song turned into an acoustic.
I loved it.
That we've never played. And you could tell on my part.
I actually thought you did pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
I thought it was fantastic.
I did it on a
okay?
full-size guitar back there, and I got it on my toy guitar out here.
Your boy Ed, coming through there.
Yeah, we can't talk about Ed Sheeran while I'm on, because people always
We
say,
1000% can talk about Ed.
people always say I look like Ed Sheeran.
We love Ed.
I could see the resemblance.
Yeah. When I wear glasses, it's really bad. You know what's funny is I was in LA at the Staples Center one night backstage, and he had just played there like 3 or 4 days before, and this security gentleman back there was like, "Good to see you, Mr. Sheeran." I was like, "He just played. He was like just walking these halls. There's no way we look the same." Thank you. But
So
anyway.
we got another song.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be more professional.
I
She's
know,
over
you're
here
looking
like,
at me and
just
I'm
looking
like-
at her like, okay, you're going to say something next? Nah, I love this. It's impromptu. I like it.
I'd chew some gum to get rid of my squeaky voice that I have. Oh, we didn't make a plan.
We totally didn't. What do you guys want to hear?
Oh, here we go.
I'll tell you one of my favorite songs.
What is that?
Call Me.
Okay, you want to do that? I made him tune all the way up to tune back down. That's your fault.
I'll take the blame for it. I take the blame for everything around here. So
This is one of my favorite songs too, so it's fun. All right, well, you people on the couches got to sing it too.
What's an interesting, this particular song, like a couple of years ago, tell y'all something real quick. We never played this song live. like for a very, very long time. The places that we did play it, I mean, you're talking about maybe 2009 when we would play it every once in a while, because this is the last song on a record called Sound of Madness, which some of you may know about.
Of course.
But the interesting thing is we were in Russia, of all places, and I can't remember if it was Moscow or St. Petersburg.
It was in Moscow.
Yeah, so we were in Moscow, and there was just an abundance of people like online as it's building up to the show and everything. Play Call Me, Play Call Me. Like, I don't know, where like everybody wanted to hear
You see
Call
it every
Me.
night at every show. You see like, oh, play What a Shame, play Breaking Stuff, but you see like 2 tweets. This was like thousands of people.
Thousands of tweets.
From
Wow.
different Twitter handles, not the same Twitter handle. I've gotten that too. Play Breaking Stuff, it's the same person 50 times. It was like thousands of people hitting us up, being like, you have to play Call Me, you have to play Call Me. And we're like, man, we haven't played this. So we decided, I think.
And Eric is always like apprehensive of it. But Eric was the one, because we didn't 1000% say we were going to do it. But we got into a point and he looked at all of us and he was like, we're going to do it.
So
and
we dragged the piano in the dressing room about 45 minutes before the show. Literally, the piano was on stage. Had to pull it into the dressing room so he could go over it.
But we hadn't played it in front of an audience in like almost 7 years. We played it that night, and now the last couple of years,
Now we started doing it again.
Yeah, on this last tour we did, we played it. I don't know, at least 6 out of the 20-something shows.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great
So
song.
now you're going to get to hear it. It's a piano song that we're going to play on acoustic.
Sorry. There's a piano. There is a piano back.
And I don't know if I want to know the meaning of it now, since we just talked about that, because I was going to ask
The meaning
you,
of Call Me?
like, I mean, like, obviously what kind of mindset you were in when you wrote that and stuff. I mean, everybody probably takes it in a little bit differently. I mean, what's happening to my...
Oh,
Your elitist throne.
no, we need to make sure that she has her stool
Let's
here.
go.
stool.
So yeah, like,
You
I
look
mean,
very lovely in this, by the
Thank
way.
you,
I know
Brent.
everybody out in the radio can't see her, but she's looking quite fine today in her,
This will be online. I'm
in her
sure.
lovely chair.
so do you want to
Queen.
kind of describe describe a little bit about Call Me, or do you, I mean...
Call Me was written, for me anyway, and for the band, it was written about someone that was, he was a friend of mine, and, you know, he had a lot of difficulty with his own demons, if you will. He had a beautiful family. He still has a beautiful family. But there was a lot of kind of give and take in the beginning, and then there was a lot of pushing and pulling towards the end of the relationship. And I think it was difficult for him to put it into words, you know, what he was going through, because not only he was losing his relationship with his wife at the time, but he also had a daughter at that time, was getting ready to be a father twice because he had a baby boy on the way, but his marriage was dissolving. And the thing about that is just because the marriage dissolves, you know, you still have the children. And I think it was a song where I could tell that he was going through so much, and, you know, he was using certain substances to kind of numb that. And ultimately, I just wrote a song, you know, in my opinion, through his eyes and what he was seeing and what he was going through. And I didn't want to make the song something that, you know, every time people hear it, they're like, oh, this is about a failed marriage. It's actually the complete opposite, because what happens in the song, too, is both of the parties realize, you know what, maybe we don't belong together, you know, as far as, you know, we're probably not going to be married forever, but that doesn't mean that we can't be friends, and that doesn't mean that we can't grow with each other in a different side of our relationship, not only for the children, but also for them too. You know what I mean? They need to be able to move forward in a positive way. And, you know, it's really a song about acceptance and finding out, you know, what these two people needed to do to move on and to still have a great relationship. This is Call Me.
Bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table, never really thought I'd be able to say I merely visit on the weekends. I lost my whole life and a dear friend. I've said it so many times, I would change my ways, no, never mind. God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way. I finally put it all together. Nothing really lasts forever. I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. I got my own life in a suitcase. I never really stayed in one place. Maybe that's the way it should be. You know, I live my life like a gypsy. I've said it so many times, I would change my ways. No, never mind. God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way. I'll always keep you inside. You healed my heart and my life, and you know I tried. Hey, hey. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way. Hey, hey, yeah. Thank you.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. What a special treat. Brent Smith and Zach Myers of Shinedown live in Studio East, thanks to the U.S. Army. So another question for
Yes,
you.
a round of applause for the U.S. Army.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, all the branches of the military, the men and the women, thank you very, very much.
So how do you guys measure success for yourselves? I mean, you have several platinum selling albums, you've broken numerous radio records, and you have a obviously very dedicated fan base. What else do you still want to accomplish?
We always sound like D's when we answer this, but we don't measure it. We
Donuts?
we
We sound like
always
donuts.
sound like donut holes when we answer this.
I can get you some donuts.
We don't measure it.
I'll tear some donuts up.
We measure it in donuts. Actually, no. We listen. We look at everything as we're grateful for it. But it's like we always want to keep going. You know, we always say there's no ceiling. So we always want to bust through. Every ceiling is glass, and we want to break through it. So it's, you know, we always take a step back to go, oh my God, we're selling out arenas. Like, oh my God, we're selling out clubs in the beginning. Oh my God, we're selling out, bigger clubs. We're selling out theaters. We got our first platinum record. All these things we take in and we really appreciate them. And then we go, all right, what's next? We never take too long to pat ourselves on the back, because in this business, when you start patting yourself on the back, that's when them young bucks are coming up behind you trying to take that number one spot. And we, listen, we think there's room for everybody in this whole community of music, but at the same time, we're trying to get to the top, and there is no top. So it's a struggle, You know, well, thank you for saying that, but in our eyes, there is no top. You know what I mean? If you do get to the top, you build a bigger top and you try to get to that. You know, and that's kind of where we stand with it.
I think also everybody in this room and also everybody that's listening, you know, live right now, whether they're in their house, their car, or on their way somewhere, what have you, please understand from our side that sometimes artists will say, thank you so very, very much. You have no idea what you mean to us. We will tell you exactly what you mean to us. You mean absolutely everything. Because the reality is that when we look at a mountain, you know, if I go up in front of something that just seems gargantuan and like impossible to scale, you know, an achievement that there's no way I can do this, well, you know what? By myself, maybe not. But if Zach comes and stands next to me, and Eric comes and stands next to me, and Barry comes and stands next to me, and then inside of all that too, we have our illustrious and legendary record label, Atlantic Records, for which we've been with for 20 years, and they have always allowed us to be ourselves. Our management team at Indigoot, McGathy Promotion, there are very, very special people here right now from all of these organizations, and the radio too. Because here's the thing about this band. We did not get necessarily, and we're thankful for this, by the way, but when we first started, we had this idea that it was going to be Rolling Stones and MTV and all of these, you know, photo ops, and
It was not.
It was not. It was not.
It was getting up at 6 a.m. and having people like the people that you listen to on the station give our band a chance.
Yeah.
And we would go in and do everything and not say no to anything they asked us to do.
And another side of why I say this and why I'm compelled to say this is it goes back to you're at base camp and you're looking at this mountain. If you think that, you know, there's no way I can do this on my own, you may be right. But if you do it together, I promise you, I promise. And I'm just saying this from our side. You know, there's a lot of different subject matter that you can take on that. Everybody has different lives and what they want to achieve. If you do it together, if you work on, you know, focusing on being a family and focus on, and families fight, they do. That's how you know it's real, you know. But at the end of the day, you love each other. There is not any mountain you cannot scale, I promise you. And yeah, when you get to the top of it, you look around at each other and we all hug and give each other high fives and things of that nature. But then we just go find a bigger mountain. But why I say this is when we started off, there were people in the industry for the band Shinedown with the first album, Leave a Whisper. A lot of people said this band will be lucky to sell 50 copies. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this
Thanks,
was
Mom.
almost...
Thanks, Mom. I'm just kidding.
Mom. It was Mom 50 times.
Our moms went out and bought it. No, I'm just kidding.
But it was such a unique thing because, and I remember, you know, we have had those moments where like early days and you have to make a decision. One thing that we did right out of the gate was we said to ourselves, all right, they don't like us. That's okay. Because what happened was this. Radio embraced this band. And I'm talking about all the way back to 2003. So learning how to not only, you know, we always talk about the industry and we talk about the obstacles and the hurdles. You know, everybody that's in our life, we tried to look at every objective open-minded. So what I mean by that is if you're, you know, when you're young, you get aggressive. You know what I mean? When people, because I always say this, Zach always says this, our job starts when you say no. You know what I mean? So, because there's a reason for it. You can't plow straight into a brick wall thinking that you're going to break through a brick wall. The brick wall will win. I guarantee you. I've done it. So, you have to figure out a way to maneuver it or scale it. You know what I mean? And ultimately why I'm saying these things and why it's important is that one of the main reasons that we're here today, one of the main reasons why I can't put all the stats in front of you because they're always changing and they're always growing. And that's because of all of you. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. And by saying that too, I want everybody to know this, you know, from us. We're never going to phone it in. You know what I mean? You may not like everything that we do. We're kind of experimental sometimes, and we like to go in different directions and what have you. But please understand that everything that we do out there, we always bring it back to the fan base, whether they've been there from the beginning or they're just finding out who the band is. You are the sole reason that we can do what we genuinely love to do, the thing that we want to do since the moment we were born. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And you guys definitely started out with like a humble beginning. I mean, I remember seeing you at this place called the Brat Stop.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is close here, almost 10 years ago. Was that one of your first shows?
It was my first show. That was 13 years ago. 14 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, just crazy. And Hailstorm was there.
Old timer.
Yes. I've been here a long time.
Just to see you guys come from, playing a place like the Brat Stop, which I'm not downing at all, but I'm just saying that to then selling out huge arenas.
Yeah.
You guys are still the same dudes that you were, though. Like, I mean,
we're a little older.
Yeah.
All of our stuff hurts more. Anything that connects or bends.
Anything that connects.
Anything that connects
Oh my
with
God.
bends hurts a lot more than it used to.
As far as my experience with you guys, though, as a band, I mean, you've always been just really awesome to your fans, and they really appreciate that. And you guys always go above and beyond to just put on an excellent show. And we all thank you for being
Thank you.
fans.
There's no reason. Listen, if you get to be at any level where all you have to do in life is meet people and play music, why be rude to anyone?
Yeah, why be unkind?
I mean, honestly, like we always say, I'm getting paid to do the thing that I'd be doing even if I was homeless and not getting paid. I'd still be doing this somewhere in some facet. I would still be doing this, and I'm getting paid to do it. And I get to meet great people, and I get to meet people who, we say they say that we changed their lives, and what they don't know is, and another thing about that is when people come to you and go, you really helped me through a rough time. It's like, our music helped us through a rough time too. That's where these lyrics come from. As us, it's as Brent says, it's cheaper than therapy, and that's true. I looked it up.
Definitely is.
I did the research in a lab. No, it is, and for us just to why, if you get to any level of success, why be rude to anyone? Why rush people through meet and greets? Why do these things? It's like you're here, and this could all go away. We won't let it because we are nice to people, and we do appreciate where we are, and even getting to come do these things with this, this amount of people and sit in a room and talk about songs. Like I when I was a kid, I could never imagine that I would get to do that. I would imagine no one wanted to listen to me talk about songs that I had written.
I would have listened.
Thanks, man.
I feel the same way, though, being on the radio, like being able to talk to some of my favorite bands and stuff. I never saw myself being able to do that.
We all have cool jobs,
Yeah.
It's the somebody laughed out there. I don't know what you do, but well, listen. I was on a flight the other day. Our bass player and I were on a flight the other day, and this has nothing to do with anything, but.
You like how he segued that?
Yeah. But there was a guy
Segued it into nothing.
and I don't remember his name because we always mad tweet, right? All of us, if we don't like something, if Home Depot doesn't have the boards we want or whatever it is. And I always if I get mad, like if I miss a flight on Delta, I used to be the guy that tweet and like they care, But the other day, our bass player and I and his wife were on a flight, and the guy in the cabin, the guy who was serving us in the cabin, was the nicest human being it was like he could have been the king of the world. He was the nicest person. He treated everyone the same way. And it's like, to me, no matter what you do in life, like, have that attitude when you go to work. Like, be that cool, because you know what? That stuff reciprocates in life, I think. And it's like, this guy was the sweetest human being ever. Not for he was nice for a guy on a plane. Like, the nicest person I'd ever seen, like, to everyone on the plane. And, like, to me, like, that's how we choose to live our lives. And listen, we're going to have bad days. We all do. I'm going to have days where I'm on the road and I miss my kids. He's going to have days where he's on the road and didn't sleep enough, and misses his kid too. And so it's this thing to where when you realize you have a job, even if it is, I said we have cool jobs, but even if you don't have a cool job, go and do your job the best you can, and that stuff will come back to you, I think. So.
I completely agree. Hey, Brent, do you play any instruments?
He does. He doesn't do it in front of people.
What instruments do you play? I'm curious.
I don't really play the instruments.
That's not true.
Well,
he is certainly good enough to play guitar on stage. He just will never do it.
I'm a blueprint writer. So what that means is like I will grab a guitar. Here's the other thing. It's an interesting thing about me, I guess, because people are sometimes like, that makes no sense. But when I'm in a studio, no matter where we are, what have you, I never go to a piano. I never go to a guitar. I always go to a bass. I don't know why. So I always grab a bass guitar. And for whatever reason, I know how to play. I never learned like how to play guitar, and I never learned.
Neither did I.
Well, I know. But
If you can't tell.
Yeah, but you have a gift. That's different. And so for me, though, the reason why I don't really know how to play the instrument, I guess people would say that I would know, yes, he can play guitar. But I never really learned anybody else's songs. Like I always had everything in my head from like I started writing lyrics when I was 10 years old. And so when I finally got to an instrument or what have you, I knew nothing about it, and I just bang on the thing until I could make something of the relative thought that was in my mind.
Sounded weird for a second.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that some Shinedown songs could potentially be from the 10-year-old Brent?
Yeah,
Save
totally.
That's pretty awesome.
Save Me was from Teenage Brent, I think.
I wrote I wrote the verses and the chorus for Save Me when I was 16 years old, and I wrote Shed Some Light when I can't remember how old I was. Probably, I don't know. I would have been early 20s, something like that.
Funny Brent Smith thing, too, is he says he never learned anybody else's songs on guitar, which he didn't. He also, if he wrote the lyrics to it, most of the time will never, ever, ever forget it. Most of the time we'll never forget him. And then, but if he didn't write, it can be his favorite song ever. It could be Black Hole Sun. He doesn't know the words to it. It doesn't. I'm not busting you out. I mean, when we do Smith and
So
Meyer
you're
shows,
bad at karaoke? Or?
No, because they have a screen up there.
No.
They have a screen up there.
Okay.
It's just he has so many.
Our tour manager, Mary Jo, who's here right now, she
Print
just ran
lyrics.
out probably to start printing lyrics.
Yeah. he like, I mean, one of his favorite songs of all time is one of my favorite songs of all time, which is Sitting on the Dock. You may know all of Sitting on the Dock.
I know all of it. I know
But,
all
like,
Black Hole Sun now.
Okay, yeah, but first we had the lyrics when you did
If
it.
you go to
So
Smith and Myers, you'll see my old school like music
and
stand.
he won't do a teleprompter. It's two music stands because the lyrics are so printed so big. And we laminate them together that
Looks
they're
like
on-
I'm trying to build an airplane.
looks like he's looking at blueprints of something.
Yeah, I'm like, what's he doing? He's just figuring out whatever the first 3 lines are to Someone Like You by Adele. We don't know.
And the joke about me is it takes me a minute to learn things, but once I learn them, I never ever ever forget them. Ever.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, that segues us into this next song.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, 1,000%.
I was
have
really
to do
hoping
it.
you were gonna-
No, I'm not gonna forget. You're gonna do it because it's gonna be cool, and we're gonna give them something special that nobody else gets.
Do you know how many of our own songs we have?
Yeah, but this will be cooler.
This is not cool.
No, it's gonna be awesome.
Do you know how many of our own good songs we have?
So we're in the green room, and I'm like, play this song today, just for the heck of it. And he's like, why? I was like, because it'll be cool, and because check this out, I get to watch him sing.
Oh, this is stupid.
And I am going to say this really, really quick. I'm not saying it because I'm in a band with him. I'm not saying it because I've known him for almost 20 years. And I'm not saying it because I'm trying to put him on the spot. The fact of the matter is, he is my 1,000% best friend in the whole world. And
He's trying to get me to play this song. That's all it is. Don't clap for that. This is him trying to get me to play a song because then he has to sing one less song.
I got to sing. I'll sing one part with you.
All right.
But it's cool because you know what it is? I get to fan out for a second. And also, you guys get to see something that, quite frankly, no one else has seen ever.
we don't do. Is anyone here over 35? All right, cool. If you're sorry if you're not, you might not know this.
It'll be cool.
Oh, this is so dumb.
It's going to be awesome. Go.
Down. Don't ask me what you know is true. I don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there, 2 worlds colliding, and they could never tear us apart.
for 1,000 years. If I hurt you, I'd make wine from your tears. I told you that we could fly. You help me out on this one. 'Cause we all have wings, but some of us don't know why. Yeah. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. This is where the saxophone solo is, but I'm not gonna. I did the saxophone solo live one time with my mouth, and it was really funny, but I'm not gonna do it. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart. You know when
Zach Myers, ladies and gentlemen.
you know when
Hell yeah.
you know when you have an idea and you're like, I'm gonna do this, and then like you'll be doing like, all right, I'm gonna do 50 push-ups, and so we work out every day and we do these crazy workouts, and once I hit 35, I started experiencing this thing called muscle failure, which is funny, and I always laugh when it happens. So like we'll be in the middle of this like super, we call them prison workouts. They're like so dumb, you're just like killing yourself. So we'll be doing these workouts, and I'll be doing push-ups, and so I'll be like, oh, this is a great idea, and then everything will just stop on me, and then my chin will hit the floor. Like my body's like, actually, hold up a second. That's what just happened to my voice, by the way. I sounded like Peter Brady and Alfalfa.
No, you sounded good.
No, but I got to a point, and my voice went.
I thought that was part of the song. I thought you were throwing a little stank on
the new little, not the new Little Rascals. It's still 25 years old, but when Alfalfa drinks the soap water, that's what I felt like.
Speaking of those
See,
crazy...
never a dull moment.
Yeah, I know.
Never a dull moment.
I follow you on the gram, both of you guys.
Okay.
The gram.
We're fun if we're nothing else, by the way. I don't know if anybody's...
It looks like you're a lot of fun on there. And you guys are talking about those intense workouts. Brent, you definitely have gotten into this total healthy lifestyle and workout. I watched some of your crazy workouts on... I've seen you posting some stuff.
He ate a gas station hot dog before we got here.
I
I totally ate a gas station hot dog before I came here.
Mr. Healthy.
I did. I eaten all day long, and we rolled up into a gas station, and I was like, I'm gonna get a hot dog.
Are you the healthiest Shinedown member?
I don't
Between
know.
him and Eric, both. I think that's a tie. Here's the thing. I say Eric's healthy because he eats healthy. He just eats peanut butter.
He does. He'll have a salad at like 8 o'clock at night, but he eats like trail mix and peanut butter the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like a
there's
little
no
squirrel.
there's no meals. Yeah, he's a squirrel. He eats nuts and peanut butter. But yeah, he'll eat like a salad at night. But that's it. Yeah, I'd say him and Eric are tied for the healthiest members of the band. For sure.
Everybody always likes hearing some crazy stories from on the road.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be a crazy fan or just something crazy that happened with you guys. Can you think of anything to tell us?
I can't. I actually told myself the other day that I'm going to start writing. I think of them in my car. I'll be like, oh,
Remember
one
this
time this happened. And then I'm like, I'm going to write that down for when in an interview they ask. And we've had stuff that we've talked about before. Like,
Do us a favor. I tell you what, when you say, because everybody has a different opinion about crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Do this for us. Crazy bad or crazy awesome?
It's crazy entertaining.
Crazy.
She means crazy bad because no
Yeah,
one cares about crazy awesome stories. We got in a fight at a cancer benefit one time.
Yeah, see, like that's the kind of stuff I want to dig up
true.
from you guys.
So
Tell us about that.
Oh God.
All right. To start this story, we're very preserved gentlemen, but we're still rednecks. Listen. We have our lives together. We don't have our accents anymore unless we get around other Southern folk, and we're classy dudes, I think, and that's my opinion. And but we're still rednecks. So we were at a cancer benefit that we were asked to attend by a radio station in Raleigh, North Carolina, I believe. And we showed up and we signed some stuff and we gave all the money to charity. And then it was like they started this thing, which is never good for guys at a rock band to attend, called Cut Your Hair for charity.
Shave your head.
Shave your head.
Okay.
So Barry, our drummer who has dreads and has had them for decades at this point, said, I will cut off like my biggest dread, like one of them, and give it to. And by the way, it ended up raising like $3,000, more
that's
than
awesome.
more than anybody else had raised. And I'm not bragging, but it leads you to this next point.
You do need to preface though.
It was St. Patrick's Day, and it was in between two bars. Is
There
that
you
what
go.
you? All right.
Yeah.
That's true. It was St. Patty's
was
Day,
St.
and it
Patrick's
was
Day.
literally a gigantic white tent
In between two bars.
downtown, just blocks of bars.
But where we were was particularly in between, Patty O'Shea's and whatever other Irish bar is right here. And we were dead in the middle. So Barry said he's going to do this and did it. And it raised, I believe it was $3,500 if my memory serves me correctly. So people are drinking, obviously.
Yeah.
It's St. Patrick's Day. So we're doing a signing and a guy basically comes up to Barry and he's kind of eyeing him and he says something under his breath and then he kind of says it out loud like, oh, dude, this is BS. You should have shaved your head, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we're like, listen, man, like we're here. Like we got asked to be here. We've already like, not to pat ourselves on the back, but like, what have you done, Joe?
Yeah.
You shaved your head that already looked funny. You know what I mean? You had short hair anyway. Like you went from a 3 to a 1 and now
Yeah.
you're giving our guy crap,
man.
So it ended up escalating, obviously. So we were leaving because the words started getting thrown around because we're still rednecks. And so obviously, so we start heading out. By the way, our label rep at the time, this was her first day with us.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And it was, welcome. This is your second day with us. Wait till later
Krista.
tonight.
From Atlantic Records, Krista.
Yeah, give it up for
everybody.
Krista from Atlantic. This is her second time hanging out
Hey,
with us.
girl.
So we started making our exit towards the car, and then a dude comes out, and basically, I don't remember. You can who
You
ducked
can
and
take
who
over?
got hit. Yeah.
Basically, what happened was this: we're trying to get out of there because they're wasted,
Obviously.
Yeah.
And
Obviously.
so we're going and we're going and we're going and we're going and we're almost to the car. This dude, I can't remember what was yelled, but it was not very nice.
Something to set a redneck off.
Yeah.
I am the last one in the group that will start a fight. And I turned around and charged at this dude, and
Which never happens.
as I'm running, the guy is coming straight towards me. So I lean down, he punches, and I duck, and it smashes Eric in the face. So
That's what
guy
happened.
almost breaks Eric's nose. And then meanwhile, our rep, Laura, who is still a huge part of our family to this day. She doesn't work with Atlantic anymore, but she's awesome. So she's getting us in the car. She's like, get in the car. So we're getting in the car. We go about our day. It's so funny because she's like driving this little like Honda SUV as fast as she can out of this.
She's a
It was like we just
driver.
robbed a bank.
Yeah,
It was
like,
like,
totally like,
get in the car now. It's our first day, by the way. Normally our job is like, okay, guys, this is the band. Let's take some pictures. And she's like screaming.
it's like Braveheart,
Thwarting.
and like literally like starting off, and like we're going and we're going and going. She's looking at us all like, whew, that escalated quick. And But the funny thing too, for me, later on that night,
Yeah,
we're in
this is
this
great.
little club or what have you,
The
and
Lincoln Theater.
yeah, the Lincoln Theater, and Eric is up on the drum riser at the end of the show, like we're like doing our thing and what have you, and he jumps off the drum riser and smashes me on top of my head.
He had to go to the hospital.
I had to go to the hospital, not one, but 2 emergency rooms, because the first one was so full, they were like, he's not getting back here for like another 3 hours. We drove 20 miles the other direction with a bottle at the time
Head
I was
bleeding.
drinking. Just gushing, blood. I got half a bottle of Kettle One, and because this is like '09, and then we're just going and going. We get to the second emergency room. There's a picture of me somewhere online with a bottle of Kettle One, 2 people above my head stitching me up, and Laura with a big smile just going ta-da.
Welcome, Krista.
That is the kind of story that I was trying to get out of you.
There you go.
Okay,
Thank you.
I remember that one. There you go.
Well, we can do one more song
Yeah,
if you
let's
got
do
it
it.
in ya.
Cool. We're gonna do. Well, you know which one we're gonna do, right?
Yeah, I know which one.
Okay, cool.
Not in excess again.
It's not gonna be an NXS song.
I'm ready when you are.
I think sometimes the song should do all the work. I know you're clinging to the light of day, to tell you everything's A-OK, and medication don't do much. Yeah, it just numbs the brain. I guess you might say I'm a little intense. I'm on the bright side of being hell-bent. So take it from me, and not the only one who can't see straight.
Can't see straight.
If you were ever in doubt, don't sell yourself short. You might be bulletproof. Often move mountains when you're paralyzed, but you gotta try. So I'm calling out, get up, get a move on. Get up, what's taking so long? Get up, get a move on. Stop stalling, 'cause I'm calling out, get up, get a move on. Get up, nothing wrong. 'Cause I believe you can be whatever. And I agree, you can do much better. Yeah, trust me. Everybody wants to sing their song, so Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Ain't nothing normal when it comes to you and me. I'd rather twist myself in knots and watch you give up on your dreams. If you were ever in doubt, don't sell yourself short. You might be bulletproof. Hard to move mountains when you're paralyzed, but you gotta try. And I'm calling out, get up, get a move on. Get up, what's taking so long? Get up, get a move on. Stop stalling, 'cause I'm calling out, get up, get a move on. Get up, nothing wrong. I believe you can be whatever. And I agree, you can do much better. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I don't know why I never talk about it. I guess that's probably part of the problem. Yeah, sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. I'm just gonna keep moving. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep moving. Today, tomorrow, and the next. So get up, get a move on. Get up, what's taking so long? Get up, get a move on. Stop stalling, 'cause I'm
calling out, get up, get up, get a move on. Get up, ain't nothing wrong. 'Cause I believe you can be whatever. And I agree, you can do much better. Just trust me. It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for letting us come out here and hang out. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. Let's give them one more round of applause. Brent Smith and Zach Myers from Shinedown.
Thank you.
A round of applause for WIIL Rock. Thank you all so, so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.